Abusiafo OSP Ken Ofori-Atta nsem na gusu a ekoso enya asem getwa na sesi akwa de Martin Kpebu private legal practitioner de ho abagima o say kiseja ben OSP empam no nya so ye incompetent na over the weekend TV3 program so key point na enya asem getwa pani kohwe media me hu ni say expose kakra ekoso ai Manasseh Azure bekyeremu Ken Ofori-Atta former finance minister abusiafo say visa pa owo Canada visa, UK visa, USA visa, ebe dio se papa ye ne ba Ghana hanum sei ye de ho nsem ba ye wi a Solomon Owusu o so wono Ken Ofori-Atta wonte na se na bibia kyese ne yare na no so yare no ofiki ai ye beti Solomon Owusu enkasa enso ana Hamza Suhini ono ekasama NDC communications team member ono so akasa se ne ba betwetwe na so about Ken Ofori-Atta ni OSP who ni say OSP conduct no why enjoy ni nyina ne se ekwan of aso free Ghana hanum sei no na etwetwe na so kakra ye de ho nsem eba right here on Nana Janto TV pa chodo be so obe click subscribe button ama me we bell notification icon no na what tell no say be video no drop here won sabe kan o hwe nyina no be like no leave comments in the comment section afi obe share na for so anya bi ahwe say be ya omo be enjoy program no together yemra nsem ne mo akwa de omni say OSP Ken Ofori-Atta issue na gusu ekos na afi ani enya because OSP en chere kwa interview one legendary KSM and odi to just who ni say Ken Ofori-Atta se ni nuane akufora ne kaze akufora de kaze ne Ken Ofori-Atta ntino eto be bi na aye dia ma ne say obe free and say obetimi ame yakwa akochero ai eto ono no obo state institutions bi di krampo NIB ne national security mo ya omo ema dwuma de ne ye den kakra ema no se de be ya obetimi a Ken Ofori-Atta ne no and over the weekend omo kwatwe sansem hu tonto ewo TV3 program e friend key point afro cancer hosti na de odi card ne bam Manasseh Azure Awuni odi se Manasseh de SML deal ya ama Ken Ofori-Atta ye pese de ba Ghana hanum so ono and the chief investigator ono na sha ase and through the fourth estate na enya asem keto akra na Manasseh say o explanation bi ewo details bi a Ghana for him some nya aware number 1 Ken Ofori-Atta o UK visa o ya edne be kopium 2030s more o sanso o USA visa 2030s and be expire Canada visa so obi 2030s more na be expire enti bi a chese papa no se ye pese edne ba Ghana hanum se e be din pa na OSP press conference ba ko be ka say SMLD no save your man over 2 billion cedis or so over 2 billion na Manasseh say around $500 million enti who ni say inconsistencies kakra ewom na ode sanse me tuja na Manasseh reveal say udim say Ken Ofori-Atta ofri Ghana hanum say 4 January 2025 let us say MPP lose election now 3 days to say ebe swear in his excellency John Dramani Mahama no ana odwane free Ghana hanum say ana ofri Ghana me nka so odwane ana ofri Ghana ha kopiem ewa mano ne it be a say there was something wrong it yakwini nkoti Manasseh Azure Awuni ni insert no ye ba private legal practitioner akasa Solomon Owusu okasama Alam Party United Party ana NDC communications team member Hamza Suhini ono so akasa mba na me omo ho nsam so
OSP when I listened to that interview with KSM and if you listen to the larger piece he made this point over and over again about the president being the cousin of Ofori-Atta and at a point even told KSM the president is his cousin was the president and I hope you understand the insinuation. Mm-hmm. The point that I got or listeners will get from that interview was that the OSP appeared ready to act, but the persons and the institutions that were to support or help the OSP did not. So I decided to ask the security chiefs at the time and also highly placed sources within the immigration service. And the question is, did you receive any request to stop Ken Ofori-Atta? And then you said no. Because we watched him leave, but we're helpless. Nobody was prepared to help and all of that. And they said, no, we didn't get any such request. Then I went back to some of the people in those positions in high authority at Immigration, National Security, BNI, and started asking my sources within that even as we stand, do we have any such request coming from the Office of the Special Prosecutor to stop Ken Ofori-Atta or Ernest Akori mind you, if Ken Ofori-Atta was the brother of, the cousin of President Akufo-Addo, there was another man who also has been declared wanted in connection with the SML investigation, but has not been, but he left the country too. So I decided to go and then do the digging, and at the end of the day, he too was not stopped. And so the information I had from the current security chiefs is that both Ken Ofori-Atta and Ernest Akori are even not on the stop list as we speak. And I said, what does that mean? And according to them, if someone is not on the stop list, you can go out of your way to stop them from traveling. So if Ernest Akori is entering Ghana through the Togo border or even the Kotoka International Airport, nobody would stop him or arrest him because you don't have that instruction. And it is because the OSP has not triggered that. So I went to the special prosecutor, Mr. Ajabe, and then asked this question about first, whether or not his outfit asked for help from the past security agencies, the National Intelligence Bureau, the National Security, and the Ghana Immigration Service. And he said no. And I said, well, you said they are not, or they were not helpful, or they were not cooperating with you. And he said, yes, they were not. And he was sure that even if he had sought their help, they would not have stopped Ken Ofori-Atta. So that didn't, that's why he didn't make any attempt. Then two, on the current one, he explained like Samid Akon is reiterating that it is immaterial and that they have their systems at the airport that should any or either of the two get into the country, that person may be picked up before they even reach the immigration. So it isn't necessary to trigger that stop order. And my sources within the security agencies say that when a stop order is triggered, they don't only look at the airport, they circulate the details of the person across the sea and land borders of the country, so that if the person knows that they are coming through Kotoka and would have a problem, they may go through a Lubo or Aplau or Kulungungu, and the security agencies will pick them up. So this is the response that has been given. And I think the most important or some revelation they also gave there is the fact that when these people were leaving, the Ernest Akori, they didn't even know at the time that he was a person of a person of interest or a suspect. They didn't know. So I got some details about when Ernest Akori left the country, and that the details are that he left Ghana on November 19th, 2024, and then he traveled to New York on Delta Airlines flight 156, and he went out through Terminal 3. And I also found out that Ernest Akori, who has been declared wanted together with Ken Ofori-Atta, is a holder of a US passport. And then his passport will expire on August 4, 2031. I also discovered that Ken Ofori-Atta traveled on a Ghanaian passport, but he has 3 valid visas to the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States. And then Ken Ofori-Atta's US visa will expire on February 14, 2026. On Valentine's Day 2026, his visa to the US will expire, Ken Ofori-Atta. And then his visa to the UK will also expire on April 21, 2032. And then finally, his Canadian visa will expire on May 31, 2031. And this is Ken Ofori-Atta. So he left the country on January 4, 2025, and he went through the Terminal 3 like Ernest Akore on the United Airlines flight 997 to Washington, D.C. Now, Ernest Akore left in November. Ken Ofori-Atta left in January. The OSP has confirmed that at the time Ernest Akore was leaving, the office did not know that he was a person of interest. And this is almost a year after the OSP received the petition to investigate this matter. And if you watch our documentary or read our reports, you will see Ernest Akore signing a letter on behalf of Ken Ofori-Atta, and you would see Ken Ofori-Atta being described in that documentary as the person behind the huge consolidated contract. His letters and everything is in there. And that brings us to the question as to why this important office for close to a year did not know that Ernest Akore was a person of interest in that investigation.
Earlier release.
And that is the chunk of the contract. So I don't know where this attempt by the Office of the Special Prosecutor to belittle the work that resulted in the whole SML investigation by state authorities and KPMG and everything. I don't know whether I can just tell, but these are just facts online.
Okay.
Nobody may, if anybody doubts me, they should just go online. Look at the reports we did. Look at the documentary produced. This documentary was played and reproduced on many platforms. And Ken Ofori-Atta features prominently. So I don't know where this claim is coming from. And this is a similar claim about some 2-point-something billion dollars they claim.
We'll get into that. But let me, I'll acknowledge the...
Owusu Ofori, Manasseh Azure Awuni, or investigative journalist, and I will tell on Ken Ofori-Atta, any Office of the Special Prosecutor investigation that echoes of a panel on person with the Bagana and Sinimum. I had Bawi, I had time, where ding, Angaza. Now, I'm from Copium, Solomon Owusu. Solomon Owusu, so you enjoy listening to him. Or Kasama Alan Party, United Party, or say, Namo Abawi, so when Ken Ofori-Atta Palma Ghana prosecutor, Ghana for fan channel. In fact, you can't put back on Ghana Hanum say, and I Ghana ni bakwa, Ghana for you share ni you be investigated now. Yeah, just say, or if I not culpable, I be punished. No, Ken Ofori-Atta. It only challenge Abane say everything within Abane powers obey ya or the Ken Ofori-Atta Bagana say, onye. Na bibi just say Ken Ofori-Atta na moso wayaro. Ono de who is how no ana by mumpenyi for at the time MPs come for your conference press conference demonstration see empam no wanko okwabuchire ba say okohwe no ho yare obasa beto aso as finance minister. Enti ono de crocodile John and ekoso who say Ken Ofori-Atta is not being truthful. OSP so the whole some atuga yanko enjoy Solomon Owusu. You enjoy this insight ya ba na me de Martin Kpebu and Hamza Suhini so ensem Abramo.
This issue people are trying to generalize it. When it's about Ken Ofori-Atta, so let's all think about corruption. It is Ken Ofori-Atta. Let's discuss it. And the OSP and his actions. And I wasn't too sure what my brother Adam was saying, that we should move on. This is a serious matter. In fact, if we are going to move on and leave Ken Ofori-Atta's case, then we must nobody must talk about corruption in this country. I'm telling you, because until this administration, this current government take the issue of Ken Ofori-Atta and take it seriously, nobody will take this government serious. Then the whole issue of ORA would have crumbled, and nobody in this country must waste our ears with corruption. Because we are talking about a man who led this country in terms of managing our affairs, led us to borrow $13.5 billion, led us to invest $97 million into a hole, led us into an SML deal, and we are talking about what? Then there is no need in discussing corruption again. Ken Ofori-Atta somewhere during the erstwhile administration, where 80 members of his own party went to Parliament and said that he has to be removed. Beyond that, bold point, they cited incompetence and also held grounds He told us that he was fit. He was ready to die for this country. He was ready to die for this country. And I don't even understand this business of people saying that he wrote to the old chief of staff and the incoming chief of staff. As of the 2nd of January, we had only one chief of staff in this country. Who was our incoming chief of staff?
Oh, there was a transition process.
No. You see, unless until you have been given the power, as of the 2nd of January 2025, President Akufo-Addo was still in position. So there couldn't have been two chief of staffs. He wrote to his chief of staff, Femo Opare, and was granted. And the OSP did nothing. Absolutely nothing. This business of really sugarcoating that office, I'm even surprised he's still drawing salaries from the state.
What do you mean by
it's
that?
a total waste of everybody's time.
With all the achievements.
What have they achieved? What?
They put out a list of...
No, you see, the last time he came to tell us that he has flashed 10,000 ghost tips from
yes.
Hey, so OSP is supposed to prosecute people. They don't even respect our intelligence.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
You have gotten 10,000 people as being ghosts. Did you hear him prosecute any one of them? Because these ghosts, they have bank accounts that every month the monies go into it, then they withdraw. Ghosts, do they withdraw monies? Is it not human beings? That should have been a starting point in investigating, assuring the nation that he was doing something. When they put up something there for all of us to just go up like that as mumu, we are not mumu in this country.
They said even with the SML, some 2.7 billion.
He has no, you see, you shouldn't even, when you do that, when you give credence, when you do that, you see, that you belittle our intelligence. I've said that he has to leave the office. He has no business whatsoever. I keep telling you, the very day that he did that press, was it a press conference or so, that he said, "Ankwanoma, but they make a crab for it." He should have resigned. Yeah. But what he was telling us was that he has lost faith in the system. He couldn't deal with the system anymore. So just leave. And then we move on. You understand? Ken Ofori-Atta came to tell us that through his lawyers that he was returning back to this country somewhere May. That position was affirmed by Fenyo Marcus, who were that sure. Are we not in November? When is he going to come? In fact, the very reason why he left this country must be the reason why we must bring him back. He said he was going for health checkup. Is that not the case? If you are a finance minister and you were in charge of my purse, instead of helping to invest our monies into building state-of-the-art health facilities so that you and I, ordinary Ghanaians, when we are sick, we could go there. You came to mess us up, and when you felt you were sick, you are going to Mayo, the most expensive hospital, one of the most expensive hospitals in the U.S. Come and explain to us how we ended up destroying our financial fiber. You say you won't come. Today, as we speak, they are shifting the goalposts. Ken Ofori-Atta is sitting somewhere, chilling. And we are discussing semantics, OSP versus Martin Kpebu, because Martin raised issues. And let me say that, look, if the OSP and his people are thinking that it's only Martin that is not happy with them, then they must be mistaken. They must be mistaken.
So whatever disagreements between Martin Kpebu and the OSP is only benefiting Ken Ofori-Atta.
That is it. It's part of the strategy. They want us to forget about the real issue of the corruption. I am not interested in whatever English you write. All that I'm interested in is that Ken Ofori-Atta was given a mandate. And that our monies are not adding up. Come and explain to me. You are here writing English. And they want to play with our minds. We are very much focused on this matter, that he must be brought back. And I believe that this administration must also not be toying with us. Whatever it will take for them to go and bring him, they must do that. If the OSP is dilly-dally with the issue, they should just push him aside.
There's an extradition process in place. They say that the Attorney General is aiding in the process.
The last time, did you hear the Attorney General speak?
To get it done.
Bring them the file, it was even a matter.
They sorted out
so they should move. That's why I said the Attorney General must come in. I trust the Attorney General's office more than the OSP. The OSP will not take us anywhere.
The OSP has stated that
there's a lot of them. He says that he discussed with other security agencies, yet they allowed him to go. Now it is turning out that was not the case. So how do you expect you to trust him? I want to listen to the Attorney General on this matter. And they must do this country that great service by telling us what exactly is happening. Because some of us want to see Ken Ofori-Atta in this country.
Want to see him in person.
In person, but he was the finance minister in person. He was not leading the finance ministry in absentia. He was not doing Zoom meeting with us when he was the finance minister. Come back and respond to us as a country.
Well, but he has been charged now. He's not in the country physically. He has been charged.
You see, there was a precedent that was set that in those days, I said that you were heading into abyss with the said enough Temako. When judgments are given, people run away and go and sit somewhere. That is what is going to happen. Now, Ken has also followed. He has issues to answer here. He's living somewhere. The next time, somebody will just come and see the entire monies of this country and go and live. Is that the way we want to build this country? So please, Ken Ofori-Atta's matter is as important as, in fact, it's the most important matter in the corruption issues. And until we deal with it constructively, you can dedicate the rest of the years discussing Ken Ofori-Atta. We will not move on if that matter is not sorted. And the OSP cannot shortchange anybody. And nobody should bring semantics and try and create the impression that it's a trivial matter. It's a serious matter. It's a serious matter because my tax was paid. As a business, even when you cannot pay, you are forced to pay. And when we give you all these things to manage it well, and it's time for you to come and account to us, you say what? SML, he must come and explain to us. But does it not even give you that impression? You see, it's a shame that a minister of finance has run away from the country. And people are thinking that
he said he's not well.
No, he's very well. He's very well.
Medical.
Have you ever seen ever since he told me that he was not well? We had a whole clinic called Mayo. If you don't know who was there issuing letters, we never spoke to anybody there. Fake letters they were bringing.
So how do you
I dared them to let the person that side speak.
Do you have evidence to support?
I don't have any evidence that it was also signed by the Mayo Clinic.
So then why do you say it's fake?
It is fake because nobody knows. We have faceless people issuing letters. Along the line, from the Mayo Clinic, we have some people calling themselves family members who issued a statement. And they just only signed family members. Who are the family members of Ken Ofori-Atta? A lot of things have happened in between. You can have about 1,000 members of a family. Who signed it? You want to know who signed it? Then they chickened out. Then the wife came in. Now look, the man was not well. What is this that we are? What is this about Ken Ofori-Atta that we cannot confront it? And that is where I agree with Martin. The timidity levels in this country, we have a lot of timorous souls. But if we are going to behave like this, we will continue to have politicians play with our minds. We will continue to have politicians steal from us. We will continue to have politicians think that the wealth of the nation belongs to them. And now whenever they come, they will do whatever pleases them. No, nobody is above the laws of this country. This is the country of our birth. The money that were given to any administration of Ken Ofori-Atta was not for him. It was for you and I. It was to be used to develop this country. If you have done something and say, come and answer, and you are telling us, at a point he said you could do Zoom meeting. Which help was you going to use to do the Zoom meeting? You were not well. As for Zoom meeting, then you can do it. You can set up a camera on yourself, sit behind the PC, and answer audibly all questions. Just fly to Ghana within 12 hours and come and do that. You can do that.
Solomon Owusu Ekasama Alan Party, United Party, and our tenenka on Ken Ofori-Atta and OSP. Afei, Yemko man of the moment, private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu. Na osi OSP pe ne ho asem ana wako invite on Martin Kpebu. Na said here, obesi expose OSP. Osi OSP is incompetent o. Number 1, OSP chantro. What chantro say? Obo NIBD say as a NIB collaborating in his effort to extradite Ken Ofori-Atta to this country. Osi wa trolete. Akoma NIB o get back to him say OSP file request be am say o pese oboa na o pese NIB boa na omutimene Ken Ofori-Atta ba Ghana hanumsi enti o se no nko antikwa no Kiseja bin atwantro we incompetent yam pam no Martin Kpebu o na say ensem de hyase no na se koma demonstration say Martin Kpebu I'm sorry Kiseja bin incompetent yam pam no free office na no ana o se bibia kire say Kiseja bin amwa ekwa Ken Ofori-Atta fa so free Ghana hanumsi kwa bochi wa amwa na unim say NDC lusu ana MPP lusu election 3 days to say yebeso in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ana papa ni free Ghana anum say ko into OSP no onya awa na eti enkwete Martin Kpebu ono so ni show with OSP adequate o say yempam no any adequate hu no say Ken Ofori-Atta issue no OSP edifo kakra nti no yempam no ye ba nam de Hamza so hini so ensam abramo.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. You know that I also fact checked the special prosecutor. So I checked with the former people formerly in charge of NIB. And they said, one of them even said he doesn't even know Kiseja bin. That's to say that Kiseja bin never contacted him to help arrest Ofori-Atta. Then I checked with the current head, that's the institution, NIB. they've written formally to me that, and I'll read a portion. The National Intelligence Bureau did not receive such a request from the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Well, the Special Prosecutor said they didn't write to them. That's the response.
No,
so I just read.
Yeah, so he's now shifting the goalposts. You can hear him in the tape with his 32 teeth that NIB didn't cooperate, National Security didn't cooperate, etc. So it's too late. Sami Darko is trying to rationalize everything. He knows that his fortunes hang on Kissi Ejabin's fortune. Once Kissi Ejabin is going, Sami Darko has to go. You see? So he's making every effort to rationalize this barefaced lie. We've caught him. Look, we've caught him. The head of our anti-corruption body cannot lie to Ghanaians and expect to go scot-free. He has to leave. Look, he's not the only lawyer. Look, even his deputy, Cynthia Lamte, is by far his senior at the bar. Kissi Ejabin is not the only lawyer in Ghana.
So you say you checked with what?
It's not as if we did any national test and Kissi Ejabin came tops. Kissi Ejabin got that office because of his closeness.
You say you checked with which institutions?
Oh, National Investigative Bureau, the NIB. This is a letter dated 27th November 2025. Look at it. It has whose signature I don't want, because it's an intelligence institution. I don't want to put out the letterhead.
You wrote to them asking what exactly?
Yes. With Dennis, your colleague
wrote to them
Dennis
exactly.
Pabiri helped me to write the letter. Yes, I wrote formally, making inquiries. You want me to read my letter? No. I can read my letter, making inquiries that the special prosecutor come there for help to arrest Ofori-Atta. And he said, no, maybe I can read portions. Look, okay. He said, I write pursuant to Article 21, 1F of the Constitution 1992 and the Right to Information Act 2019, blah, 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 to request the following. 1. Whether the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has at any point in time formally requested the assistance. So you see, I said requested, not just writing, okay? Requested the assistance of the National Intelligence Bureau to arrest former Minister for Finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, and then other persons asking for the details. And they responded, none. None. So look, we've caught Kissi Ejabin for this singular lie alone. I mean, we all make mistakes. When the heat started coming, if you had come back immediately to say, oh, look, my brothers and sisters, it's a slip, would have taken it. We all make mistakes. Look, I go to court, sometimes you quote a wrong law, the judge will correct you. Sometimes you go to the High Court, counsel is here. Maybe the High Court judge also gets it wrong. You go and appeal, it's corrected. Even the Supreme Court, they make mistakes. So please, don't make that mistake. I'm not pontificating as if I know everything and everything turns around me. No. If you thought that, look, what you said was an error, immediately come. But you see, he's digging himself in. It's terrible. The head of our anti-corruption agency cannot lie to citizens like this and keep that office.
Let's look at the other part of the response. I just want you to, because it says the matter of the stop list that Manasseh put out is in his view immaterial because it involved an extradition process, which is fundamentally different from the routine stop list mechanism.
No, listen. That's actually, Sami Darko cannot, I mean, it's not as if he's a super lawyer. We heard Kissi Ejabin, you played it. Kissi Ejabin said that when Ofori-Atta was about to travel, Ofori-Atta wrote a letter, correct? And that the letter was went to both the current chief of staff and the outgone chief of staff. Then he said he intercepted the letter, meaning he got a copy by whichever means, and sought to prevent Ofori-Atta from traveling, which presumably meant that he was going to arrest him. So there is no issue of any extradition. Sami Darko cannot obfuscate matters. It's too late in the day. Kissi Ejabin was not talking about extradition. It has nothing to do with extradition. He said he intercepted the letter, then went to NIB, didn't get help. National Security didn't get help. Immigration didn't get help. Can you imagine bastardizing state institutions? So you see how NIB has been quick to remove its mouth from this matter, because you can't have a special prosecutor just sit down and run down government institutions. And you think this is a small matter. You run down other government institutions without basis. So look, it has nothing to do with extradition. Kissi Ejabin was not talking about extradition. He said he intercepted the letter and then sought to prevent Ofori-Atta from traveling. That's why he even further went on and said that Ofori-Atta's cousin, that's the president. I don't use the word cousin. In Chi, there's no word for cousin, it's brother. Okay, brother. Okay. So Ofori-Atta's brother is a Kufuor. And so what do we expect? The words are too clear. Look, we are not kids. We don't even need to be a lawyer to understand this. Kisi was just lying, barefaced lie.
Now there's been cooperation now from the various security agencies, as was the case previous, or as against the case previously. There's been improved cooperation now.
Yes.
That's also captured in the
That's
statement.
neither here nor there. We
Why
don't need that. He has already lost the plot. We don't need that. For coming to lie and not responding immediately that, oh, I'm sorry, it's a slip. It means that it was deliberate because he's digging himself in through the rationalization summit that he's doing. Look, it's good riddance because anybody looking at following Ghanaian politics would have known that, you see, he who the gods want to kill, they will first make mad. If you want to tackle anybody, is it me, Kpebu, you are coming to tackle? You know that we will not let this matter die. So it's just God that made them blind, and then they said I should come and brought the matter back to the fore. And you see, this raises the other issue we raised earlier on today. This thing about the Ghanaian being timid, being docile. Look, it will hurt us too much. We don't have to wait till the next election. This is a matter that elsewhere by now we would have massed up in front of the office of the special prosecutor to say, look, he should leave that office immediately. This is even a matter that, properly speaking, it should attract a commission of inquiry under Article 278 of the Constitution. Well, your special prosecutor runs down the immigration service, runs down national security, runs down the National Intelligence Bureau, and we think that is kosher. Such a man is not fit for the office.
Well,
is he the only lawyer? Did he write an exam? Did we write an exam so that he topped, and so that's how he got the office, and so we think that he's the most intelligent? No, it's because he's associated with a Kufuor's regime.
After Abujafo and Penifoni na wati omonka on Ken Ofori-Atta and OSP. Meaning what you make of this video. Ube leave your comments in the comment section. I feel we are. Ube share na for Franso and be a share. Okokwana ube subscribe to the channel. Na enchana na konye jantua de sukata wana ube teninka right here on Nana Jantua TV. Meaning this Stephen Zando Makramo enche ube share.